This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, along with our latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We're your host, Cheryl.
And Jay.
All right, this week we watched The Accountant 2, and Jay is going to quiz me for trivia. What you got?
Okay, so I have a trivia and a little bit of a bonus trivia.
So you're going to quiz me twice? Thanks.
Yes.
Hit it.
Okay, so this is, I didn't have a lot of trivia about The Accountant, so we're going with actor trivia.
Sure.
And this is for Cynthia Ade Robinson, who plays Mary Beth Medina in The Accountant 1 and Accountant 2. Okay, so Cynthia Ade Robinson has been acting for quite some time.
Okay.
She portrayed a popular DC comic book character.
Okay.
That is currently being portrayed by somebody else in DC film and series.
Supergirl.
No.
Oh, Amanda Waller?
Yes.
She black.
She
Just, it's like, let me go for the obvious.
She played Amanda Waller in the CW series Arrow, which you saw most of in the background because I watched it a lot of times.
Okay, I was about to say.
I don't know if you ever saw her episodes because she kind of like, I mean, Waller's a pop-up character. So she pops up in a couple episodes. But I remember her from the CW. She did a very good job as Waller. She was just as mean and bad in the CW series as Viola Davis portrays her in the comics. So
good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she was very good in that. But she was also casted in a major role in a major black sitcom that we both used to watch. Early 2000s. Well,
she was in the movie. She was actually in it.
No, she was casted in a role that was given to somebody else.
Oh, given to somebody else.
Mid 2000s black sitcom that we both used to watch.
Living Single?
No, mid 2000s.
Oh, that's too old. Mid 2000s that we both watched.
Think about the last black sitcoms that you've watched.
From the 2000s?
Mm-hmm. She was originally cast.
And we both watched it.
Yes. She was originally cast. It ran for a long time, a couple seasons. Changed networks. It ran so long.
It's not The Game. You didn't watch The Game.
I did watch The Game.
Did you?
Yes.
Should you be?
I was old enough to watch The Game.
Is it The Game?
Yes.
Who was
she was originally cast as Melanie in The Game until she was replaced by Tia Mowry for unspecified reasons prior to the show's production. So she was original Melanie.
Are they the same age?
Cynthia Ade Robinson is 40 years old. Tamara Mowry is 46.
Oh.
Yeah, so they went older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess she would have been like, I mean, they both look they could be the same age though, so that don't even matter. I was just wondering, did they decide to go with Tia because she was younger? But no, it's the reverse.
Yeah, they probably decided to go with Tia because she was already known in
more
the sitcom
popular
space. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, interesting.
I can see that.
I could have seen her as Melanie.
I think I watched the game because she was the lead.
Yeah, because it was like one of the twins. Absolutely. Yeah,
right.
That was the draw. I could see her as Melanie, though. Melanie wasn't like I
can't see it now.
I can't see it now because I've watched it. But I could have seen her in the role.
Back then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she could have fit it.
She could have. That would have been a different side, though, because we've only seen her now. I've only seen her now in, like, serious roles.
I don't know, because I don't think... you're right, because I don't think I've seen her in comedy. So, no.
She obviously might have had chops, though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's been around for a while, and we just started seeing her recently and stuff. But she's been around things that we've paid attention to for quite some time.
She got a filmography.
She does.
Okay, good for her. Good for her. I like her. I want to see her in more things, actually.
Yeah, I do. She was good in this, especially in like something actiony. I can see her in like a James Bond.
Yes.
Because she is British. I could see her in the James Bond. She could be like an agent. Don't make her Moneypenny. Make her an agent.
Yeah.
Or like a Mission Impossible or something like that.
She could definitely fit in a Mission Impossible for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Okay, so that is the movie trivia for this week. Let's get into the rest of the episode. Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, it was a little late this week on news. We got some little tidbits. We got more news about a movie that's coming out, a sequel. Some casting news there. We have some trailers in the trailer park, and then we got one whole bite of crunch, like not in the box, just one. So
savor the flavor.
We'll go with it. All right, starting off at the top here, we got some information about Ready or Not 2. It officially has a tagline, or has an official title now.
Yeah.
It will be called Ready or Not, Here I Come. Now, if that doesn't like spark anything and you don't immediately start humming a song, something wrong with you. Somebody was like, there's going to be the worst remix of the Fuji song when this trailer first drops.
They should just use it as the opening.
They're definitely going to use it, but if you're going to use it, leave it alone.
Yeah.
I don't want no remix. I don't want no techno. I don't want no classical remixed version. Just play it as it is. The song is fine.
It's definitely coming in the trailer.
Anywho, the movie will be called Ready or Not, Here I Come, and we also got a cast list. Now, we already knew Samara Weaving was coming back because obviously that would be crazy, and I think we also already knew Catherine Newton was in this. Didn't we?
Yes.
Okay.
She was. Yeah, they were both announced a while ago.
Okay. Now, if you don't know Catherine Newton, she's from Abigail, and she's also Cassie in Ant-Man 3. So it's a familiarity there. Yeah. Sarah Michelle Gellar will be joining. She's Buffy. She's also a lot of other things, but she's awful Buffy if you didn't know who that was. David Cronenberg is also in this, and I have him in a note as Mr. Body Horror.
Yeah.
AKA also the director of The Fly.
Yeah.
Also AKA an actor now.
He has 2 children who are also body horror directors as well.
Right. Does he act on the side? Like, is he like Martin Scorsese where like pops up in movies every now and then?
He's like a Martin Scorsese a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he is also in this. I'm given villain, but anywho, Nestor Corbinell. Am I saying that name right?
I don't know. I don't think
sorry,
I've ever seen
Nestor.
anything.
But Nestor he was the mayor. He was Mayor Garcia in The Dark Knight. If you're not familiar with who he was,
Mayor Garcia.
In The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, the Nolan series. Well, you obviously know that's the Nolan series.
Ooh,
You don't remember his face? He was the mayor. Garcia.
Did he die?
I don't think he did.
I remember the mayor from. No,
you're thinking Batman.
I'm thinking of
Nestor,
the DA in the Batman. But yes, I'm looking at him now.
Okay,
I remember him.
Yes, so that is where he's from. I don't think I've seen him in anything recently besides that.
Okay.
Sean, what's Sean's last name? Hatsui. Hattasy. Hopefully, he is from The Faculty. When you know if you look him up, or if you're watching our YouTube video, there'll be a picture behind me. Yeah. But he is from The Faculty. He's been in a bunch of other things, but I think I most recognize him from The Faculty is on this. And then also, last but not least, Elijah Wood is joining this movie.
Interesting.
Which
I saw him
in The Monkey.
Yes.
And I hope his character is nothing like The Monkey. That was weird. I did not prefer that. If you're going to use Elijah Wood, please.
But you know what? It could be because you've seen parts of Ready or Not. And
is this the family?
Yes. This is the campy, quirky family that's ridiculous.
It's probably the family. Okay. So let's not spoil Ready or Not 1 if you happen to have not seen it. But there's a family involved. So I wonder if forget it, spoiling.
Let's do spoilers. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna spoil the first Ready or Not in 3 and 2 and 1.
Yeah, because I'm very interested to see what this is gonna be about.
So in the first one, she marries into a family, or she.
No, she does. You're correct.
Okay, she marries into the family, but the family's got a curse where they have to play like a game or whatever, and she gets to pick. Mm-hmm. And she picks the game.
And they have to do it. Yeah, so basically, they do a roulette. She picks a game, and they just play it.
And they play it.
The catch is the one game, Ready or Not, is the killing game.
And just the one she picked.
Yeah.
So the whole movie is about them trying to kill her.
Yes.
Essentially.
And they have to do it because apparently the curse is how they got the wealth. And if they don't perform the curse, they will not only be poor, but they will die.
And they do die.
Yes. So she wins.
She survives. But this movie, we actually have no plot details. We actually don't even have a release date yet. So everybody's trying to speculate, what does the Ready or Not, or what is the Here I Come alluding to? People think it's going to circle back and that she is actually still stuck with this family.
Yeah, because what ends up happening at the end is she verbally says, I want a divorce. I don't know if that actually works for marriages.
Probably not. I think she's still tied to that man.
Because I'm confused
or the family.
Yeah, so what? Because the trailer, it looks like they do the card game name reveal, which is how it played out in the movie. That's how they drew which game was which.
Okay.
So it's going to be about a game again. It seems like.
Yeah.
Are these other relatives?
It's given still stuck in a family.
Yeah.
But where was these relatives? Why did these relatives not die with the other ones?
Right. And we're just speculating because they haven't given us anything.
Jack.
But if they are part of the same family, why didn't they blow up?
Right. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, this is definitely one of those movies like it's fun to have a sequel. Did it need one? Maybe not. But it sounds like it's going to be fun. The original directors, Radio Silence, are back to do this. The original writer is back from the first one. So, I think everybody's looking forward to it. It is a good, from what I've seen, because I watched the kill count video, it's a good movie. It's a good fun time.
Yeah.
Would you call it? It's too early to be a cult classic, I think.
Yeah, not yet. I think it was liked enough to not be cult classic-y.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when we learn more about what the heck is going on with this movie, we'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. So that is all the movie news this week. Let's roll into the trailer park.
Toot. Baby.
Okay, so the first trailer we have is for Heads of State. This is a direct-to-Prime video movie that is coming out July 2nd, 2025. This is a surprise. I didn't even know this was in production.
I didn't know this movie existed.
They dropped this in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe we missed the news that this was filming.
It dropped like during the Thunderbolts review rollout.
They
just randomly dropped this trailer on the internet.
New movie.
Yeah. So basically it's going to be starring Idris Elba and John Cena, Priyanka Chopra. When did we last see her in? She was in Quantico. I used to watch Quantico.
I used to love Quantico. And then I fell off for some reason. But I did read how it ended.
Wasn't she just in another John Cena movie?
Was she? I don't watch John Cena movies. I don't know. Let me take that back. I don't watch John Cena lead movies. If he's in a movie, like the movie with Henry Cavill and the spy movie, I watched that. He was in that. Argyle.
She was in... Argyle. No, not John Cena. She was the villain in Baywatch. So The Rock, a different wrestler.
That's older than Quantico, ain't it?
Baywatch 2017. Quantico was 2015 to 2018, so same simultaneously. But yeah, she was the bad guy in the Rock Baywatch reboot with Zac Efron.
Oh,
remember we watched it in the hotel, and she was like trying to blow Zac Efron up or something.
Not good, Shaper.
It also says that she was in The Matrix, but I don't know who she was in there.
She was the kid. Grown up.
She was the grown up kid. That is correct.
So that is the last thing we saw her in.
The Matrix.
Okay. Which we don't want to actually have seen that. So.
And it also stars Jack Quaid, who's from The Boys. The last movie we saw, we didn't go see that movie where he doesn't feel pain, but
or Companion.
Scream 5.
Yes, you're right.
So what is this about? This is about two world leaders who must set aside their rivalry to thwart a global conspiracy after becoming targets of a ruthless foreign adversary.
Oh, now if you couldn't pick up by the hint of the name and who was in this is not a serious movie. This is a action comedy.
Absolutely.
It is very much streaming. It's your typical two heads of states don't like each other. They're on a plane. The plane gets shot down, and they had to figure out like who was trying to kill them.
Well, so
it's probably Priyanka. Sorry.
It's either her or Jack Quaid.
It's one of the two.
John Cena plays the president of the United States. Idris Elba plays the prime minister of the UK.
Correct. Which makes sense. Yeah, I mean, he's from there. So if they would have flipped that, they should have been funny and just flipped it just because.
Yeah.
I thought they didn't want to take it there.
I found that was funny. John Cena was basically saying he got elected because he was the gun-toting president.
Yeah, he used to be an actor, so it looked like.
Yeah.
so, I mean, that's accurate.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
That would happen.
Totally. That is not the part to question.
Right.
That actually works for this movie.
So this looks like a goofy version of Plane.
But they know on the plane for like 2 seconds.
Right, but after they crash, don't they get like trapped somewhere where they have to like fight their way back home?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It is. You're right.
It looks like it's going to be a little bit of globetrotting.
Yeah, for sure.
Priyanka Chopra plays some member of she's an agent.
MI6.
Yeah, MI6
agent.
So she's an agent. Mm-hmm. She is going to be kind of protecting them, but also
Jack Quaid is also there to help. Like the tech
it
guy.
Seems.
Sure.
So I don't know.
It don't matter, y'all. This is pure for action jokes, and it comes out July 2nd. So 4th of July laughs.
Yeah.
It is.
It's going straight to Prime Video. It's a holiday movie. I'm interested to see.
I watch it.
What comes out July 2nd weekend?
I don't know.
Because that's the same reason I Know What You Did Last Summer did not come out that
Let's
weekend.
See. IMDb release calendar. IMDb release.
I feel like there's a reason I Know What You Did Last Summer didn't choose that weekend.
Well, July is the 4th of July weekend is the weekend before we get the big kahunas.
Right.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. I was like, why would they choose this weekend?
What else is going? Yes, Jurassic Park weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's gonna watch.
If you at home after your Jurassic Park, now you got something to watch.
You're gonna watch Jurassic Park.
You better.
Next stop on the trailer park is I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is going to be. I guess we can add. This just gave me something else that we can throw in a Buncha Crunch that we talked about yesterday.
Okay.
But I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is going to be the
reboot, requel,
4th movie.
Yeah. There's 3.
There's an awful, terrible, blasphemous 3rd movie.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 3rd.
Exactly. It's so bad.
Okay.
Basically,
it's like The Matrix.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. The killer was a human person. The killer in I Know What You Did Last Summer was basically an undead.
No.
He was like he was the resurrected dead body of the original killer chasing like a different group of teens. It had nothing to do. It was terrible. So this is the 4th movie. Okay. This comes out July 18th. If you don't know, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a 4th of July movie. Each movie, the plot takes place around the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So holiday film, exciting holiday slasher.
Not the way it's sandwiched in between these 2 superhero movies.
Well, no information on the budget yet, but usually
$2.
slashers are extremely cheap.
$2.50.
This is going to star Madeline Klein as the lead, taking place of. So basically, they're going to do this the exact same way they did Scream 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they're gonna do the new girl is related to like the killer from the past thing, but basically what they're doing is the same way they brought Dewey and Sydney and Gail back to like be advisors for the new circle of teenagers. They're doing the exact same thing.
Copy pasta.
With Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Sauce.
Madeline Klein, who we saw as she played Dave Bautista's girlfriend in Glass Onion, and Tyreek Withers. Who's going to be in him. Is going to be in him. Mm-hmm. It's also going to star Jennifer Love Hewitt reprising her role as Julie James. Yeah. And Freddie Prinze Jr. reprising his role as Ray Bronson.
This trailer looks bad.
It is a paint by numbers. It is copy pasta, like Cheryl said. The trailer shows that they have obviously committed a murder of some sort and kept it secret, covered it up.
He back.
There's a new, different type of fisherman who is going around and seeking revenge on them.
The trailer looks cheap.
It looks bad.
The dialogue looks bad. I mean, Jennifer Love Hewitt,
she look like she want to be there.
She like does this part in the trailer where she turns around like shocked, and I'm like, you're not even doing shocked right. Freddie Prinze Jr. look like the town drunk. I don't know why.
It does look bad.
If you gonna do it, then it needs to be good, and this don't look good.
So I have questions. One,
why?
Why?
Okay.
Well,
other than that one.
But my main question is, what does Julie James have to do with this? Because did you watch the I Know What You Did Last Summers?
Yeah.
Both of them?
I mean, it's been forever, but yes.
Julie James was no Sidney Prescott.
She was, all of them kids was very just like.
There. They were very just like there.
Yeah, they weren't like
they didn't have like
nothing like
their
that.
personalities weren't extremely strong.
No.
I did like them as I liked Sarah Michelle Gellar's character in it. But Julie James wasn't like a fighter. She survived, but she survived in those movies mostly because Freddie Prinze Jr. showed up in the third act to save her.
Are they going to try to say that, since she's had this traumatic experience, now she's like Laura Croft?
Yeah, basically, like they're going to try to turn her into Sydney now, or they're going to try to turn her into Laurie Strode now. And it's like, no. It's been too long. One, she wasn't a fighter in any of those other 2 movies. She survived, but she wasn't like a fighter.
Why is she still there? You made a good point. Why is she still there?
We get a shot of, it seems like the town has become aware that the fisherman killer is back, or there's another fisherman killer. Freddie Prinze Jr. appears at the town hall.
Trying to warn them or something.
And he's like, you guys have to do more. This isn't the first time there's been violence like this in this town. One.
I'm sure there has been. Go ahead.
One, yeah, you're right. The first time there was violence like this in this town is because you killed a man and covered it up.
Nothing.
And he killed all of your friends and a couple bystanders. So this is because of you. 1, 2, why do y'all still live here?
Go do something.
City immediately moved out of Woodsboro and never moved back.
None
of them did. So what was the point of coming back here?
If you gonna redo these type of movies like the Screams, I Know What You Did Last Summer, like you but make it good.
Yeah.
Don't waste our time. And this is giving, I hate to say it, it's giving wasting time.
So this isn't even this is the 4th film, but after the 3rd movie a couple years ago, very recently actually, I Know What You Did Last Summer had a series, I believe that was on Amazon. And
it did and got canceled.
This looks like it's more along lines of the series in quality.
Yeah. like an Amazon series.
The last question I have about this movie is, where's Brandy? Is she going to be in it? They said
I think she is, but it's going to be like she's sitting on her porch saying, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The director said that people who are fans of the last movie are going to be very happy by they're going to do like a reference or something in the film that's going to reference the last two movies. The director was like, we think people who are fans will be very happy to see it. I'm not sure if that means it's going to be Brandy, but that's who people are anticipating.
I did also see her say, I think the same person said that they tried every way possible to bring Sarah Michelle Gellar back.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar says she says her name is Sarah Dead Gellar.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to come back.
She probably saw where this was going and was like, ooh, no, not me.
And I think what we learned from Buffy is that when Sarah don't want to come back to something, she didn't even want to come back to Buffy.
Listen.
Like, they had to beg and plead her for decades to get her to come back to that.
Her little letter was like, they've been working on it. And I was like, I ain't touching it till it's right.
Till it's perfect.
Now, that's probably why she ain't got nothing to do with this. Because she was like, ooh. So, no, y'all. Thank you, though.
If she didn't want to be involved in it, I don't know.
Watch the trailer and you will agree with what we said. That's when I'm not even gonna ask your opinion because your opinion gonna be our opinion.
Last stop on the trailer park is for Predator Badlands. This comes out November 7th. This is going to be a standalone Predator movie. It's not going to be attached to any of the previous Predators. No. The most surprising thing about it is going to include elements from Alien.
We got a crossover. Yeah, or they setting up a crossover for sure.
I guess they're back in the same universe again.
Sure, why not?
Because they haven't been since the Alien versus Predator movies. So Predator Badlands, we got some plot details. It's going to take place in the future. I think we knew that already.
Yes.
I assumed it was going to be future Earth, but it's going to be a completely different planet.
I'm fine with that.
Yes, take us off of the planet. In the future, on a remote planet, a young predator, outcast from his clan, finds an unlikely ally in Thea, who is a Weyland-Yutani synthetic, who's played by Elle Fanning, and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Now, yesterday, the director gave out some additional details.
Oh, okay.
They gave out the name of the predator. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now.
It.
But basically, the predator is deliberately on this planet hunting this unkillable monster,
because that's what they do,
to prove himself to his clan and regain entry back into it, and to prove himself to his father.
Now what does Elle Fanning? I wonder what she got to do with it as an android.
What we know about Weyland-Yutani is they love colonizing planets.
Oh, so maybe they scoping it out.
So maybe they happen to be on the planet at the same time that the predator is there to hunt this unkillable. Weyland-Yutani always ends up on a planet inhabited by aliens.
Listen, and the android always getting jacked up because her android in one shot is like strung up on some trees or something. And this is when we know she's an android because her eyes are whited out.
Right.
But the rest of the time we see her, she looks like a normal person.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We talked about this a couple episodes ago. This is going to be the first Predator movie where the Predator is going to be the protagonist.
Right.
And people were
to the end.
Predators aren't good or bad guys. They just hunt. All they believe is in hunting the game. They don't hunt or attack people who are unarmed. They only attack people who have weapons.
Yes.
And it's all about just like proving themselves to their clan. They're not like vicious serial killers, but they do kill people, and it's pretty much unnecessary.
It's pretty innocent people. If you watch Prey, they was killing.
But people were taking the protagonist thing as like he's gonna be a good guy, and it's like, no, we're just following him.
Yeah, they was trying to call it woke.
Yeah, no,
because Elle Fanning was in it. I'm like, y'all.
Yeah.
Watch Prey. It's a similar notion. You have a female lead and a predator. And it works.
The only reason Thea is there, just like Sanaa Lathan is there, because predators don't talk. You have to have a character who speaks and gives dialogue. Otherwise, you're just like listening to predator grunts and mannerisms. Right. So the trailer looks fun.
It looks good.
Super action packed.
Very much so.
Looks like it's going to be different monsters or different creatures he's going to be fighting.
He's going to be getting beat up, toe up, and tearing other people up.
That giant thing that came out the forest at the very end is supposed to be the monster he's fighting. Okay. I wonder if Weyland-Yutani is looking for that. I wonder if Weyland-Yutani is there because something xenomorph related is on the planet. But I will say,
they definitely going to get a piece of it at the end. That's going to be the after credit scene.
They didn't show too much of the monster other than the scale of it. It's 4 on 4 legs. It was like hit and miss.
It's got like long arms.
And it's got a tail. It looks exactly like the comic book version of the Xenocroc. from the Alien crossover comics.
Now, somebody tried to say, and I thought they was reaching with this, is that at the very beginning, the skulls of whatever the aliens are look like the aliens from Independence Day, and I was like, I think we're reaching.
No, they've done that before.
Oh,
they just
happen to be cousins.
In the Aliens 2. Not Aliens 2. In the Predator 2 with Danny Glover, there's a scene in the third act where he sneaks into that Predator ship to kill it, and he finds a trophy room, and that is the very first time we see. It's the very first time we see a xenomorph skull in an alien movie. Okay, I think they're just doing that as like we're doing it again. Yeah, with a different alien from a different movie.
Okay, okay, that's fine. I was like, Independence Day, y'all.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna mean anything. I
think y'all reaching just a little bit. No, but this looks good. I feel like we're getting a big cinematic experience with this one for sure.
It could be a xenomorph queen skull because they kind of have the same head shape, like the fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I'm interested to see this. It looks like it's going to be super action-packed.
We might see this in Dolby.
I enjoyed Prey. I think Prey was really good.
Somebody said they should re-release Prey in theaters. They're not going to do it, but they should. I
think because Prey was straight to Hulu. I wonder if this was going to go to Hulu first well, and then they changed.
I think there was.
So they probably after Prey was so well received, they were like, we should probably put this in the theater.
I feel like they were gonna put this on Hulu.
You know what? I forgot Romulus was going straight to Hulu.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Then maybe I'm thinking of Romulus.
So if Romulus was gonna go straight to Hulu, this probably was too. I can't believe they were gonna put the Alien and Predator stuff straight to Hulu, and Romulus was like super good.
Well, that's because they trying to make content for their stuff so people can buy it, but then it's like it makes more money in the theater, y'all. Just put it in the theater.
My last question is, does this mean the Romulus sequel can have Predator stuff in it?
Maybe.
Does it work both? Will they be able to use it both ways now?
Since
the door is open.
Yeah. I'm curious. Did you see, this is semi-related, did you see that the 3-minute clip of Alien Earth? That's literally just a xenomorph being born?
No, I didn't. This came out recently?
This morning. There's literally, it's not a trailer, which is why I didn't put it on here. Bursting? No, it looks like a xenomorph being like created in the womb of something. It looks really gross, obviously.
Like it's in the body?
Yes.
Oh, so this is probably after the face hugger jumped on their face and we're seeing it like develop in their body.
But it's not a human body. It's like you got to watch it. It's but it's 3 minutes long. And I was like, y'all, this is a long clip. But it's literally, remember the first clip that came out and it was just of the cat with the GoPro? Okay, and it don't give you no plot details. This is similar, except we are watching a xenomorph it looks like a xenomorph being formed in whatever. And then we get a long shot of the hallway of whatever ship it's on. And then we get computer screens. It looks like somebody booted up. And it said, at the end, it says, Wayland Yutani, whatever their tagline is.
So I wonder if that is, because we speculated the show is going to kick off with the ship crash.
Maybe.
So I wonder if that's the xenomorph. It's got face hugged. It's developing. Yes. And it's going to chest burst, crash on a planet, and then the show's take over. Kick off.
Yeah. We still do not have a date.
Because technically, we've seen the xenomorph. Xenomorph can jump on any living thing. The facehugger can, and it just makes the xenomorph look a little different depending on what it was. Maybe that's what it was. In the third movie, it jumped on a cow.
Okay.
And the xenomorph was more animalistic. It like ran around on all fours.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it and analyze it.
So I wonder if maybe it's not human. Maybe it can jump off of any living thing.
It don't look like it's coming out of a human.
So maybe it's like an animal.
Maybe, but it's 3 whole minutes of nasty. Yeah. Well, 2 minutes and 50 seconds of nasty. Then the last 6 seconds is regular.
I'll go look at it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what the monster is in Predator. It looks big. It looks like it's going to be a really big epic fight. So.
And it's the same director who did Prey. So we getting the same creative team. So very excited about that.
Excellent. All right, so that is the last stop on the trailer park. Let's dive into his Buncha Crunch.
All right, small crunch this week. First bite is Michael B. Jordan, who was just in Sinners, which is doing excellent at the box office. If you have not if you've not listened to our review, that was just the last episode. And if you've not seen this movie, go now before all the IMAX screens is gone.
I went out last night and somebody said that they were going to Chicago to see it.
In the IMAX.
On the true IMAX. So
people are traveling. Yeah. Which is, I love to see it. Yeah. I love that this movie is doing well. But Michael B. Jordan got another movie coming out. Maybe this is his next movie. I don't know. But Thomas Crown Affair got a release date of March 5th. It's interesting they're doing this in March.
Why?
Spring.
Mother's
Spring's
Day?
fine.
No, that's not March.
Spring is fine.
Spring, yeah.
Thomas Crown Affair feels like a summer movie to me. That's all. But anyway, it's coming out March 5th, 2027. So we got a little while. I'm not sure why they telling. Well, they always tell us movies 5 years in advance. So hopefully this keeps the date. But it does feel more like a summer movie to me. So I wonder why they not just putting this on like.
Was Thomas Crown Affair heavy on action?
It can be.
It can be. I mean, the original.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as like James Bondy as James Bond.
But it's given like luxurious sex thieves.
So
I feel like
they should go in that direction for this remake. Interesting. Wait. 2027. Yeah. No. What Avengers movie is coming out in 2027?
That's May though. It's 2 months apart. They're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So July?
Sure.
Because it's going to run up through May.
Or a Memorial Day weekend. But that's close to.
You know what? This is subject to change. When we're here to sit here debating.
We are 2 years in the future about this movie.
Change. We literally talk about movie date changes all the
literally,
time.
Sinners was supposed to come out when Mickey 17 came out. So I don't even know why I'm tripping.
So that's funny.
They said a tentative date for this. I think they also announced that this will get an IMAX release as well. So I mean,
they should.
Black-led movies and IMAX screens, yes, more please. Even though we have a LIMAX next to us, we support other premium screen formats like XD.
Does this have a director?
I don't think so. Oh, he's doing this.
He's directing it too?
I think so.
He's directing and producing?
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm 99% sure he is writing and starring in this.
Writing?
Okay. Directing and starring in this.
Okay. Directing is good. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, it says he's directing it.
Okay. Oh, the Fall Guy is writing it. The Fall Guy script.
David Leitch?
Nope, Drew Pearce. David Leitch directed Fall Guy.
Okay.
Drew Pearce is writing the script.
What else has Drew Pearce done?
Fall Guy.
Oh, okay. Well, it was good.
I don't know.
Fall Guy was good.
Enjoyed Fall Guy.
Yeah, Fall Guy was really good.
You know what?
It was a shame Fall Guy didn't make a lot of money.
Right. Fall Guy did action romance very good.
It did.
So this is the perfect guy to write this. We're good.
Excellent.
We're good.
All right, and director, producer, and star. So he's doing all 3 roles. That's good for him.
Check.
Yeah.
Ching, ching, ching.
All right, so the last crunch I'll throw in is that we talked about, they're also remaking Urban Legend.
Yes. I scrolled and was like, nah, it can't be real.
It was real. Multiple sources corroborating.
I just kept scrolling like,
it's stupid.
Nobody's paying attention.
So random crunch we're going to throw in at the end is that Urban Legend is getting a reboot. So they're officially doing all of the 90s slashers.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's around the
Scream.
same.
Yeah.
Who was in original Urban Legend?
So Urban Legend starred somebody that we just saw in Long Legs. Alicia Witt, who played the mom in Long Legs, was the final girl of Urban Legend.
Okay.
Your favorite male actor, Jared Leto. Rebecca Gay Hart.
I don't like Jared Leto like that. I loved him in what's that movie I really like him in?
Well, you didn't see him? The Haunted Mansion movie?
Yep.
Where he did make
and as I always say,
make an appearance.
You don't see his face, and he don't sound like him at all. He did a really good job in WeWork with Anne Hathaway.
His character,
was the 2 things I will stand Jared Leto for.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did great in WeWork. Jared Leto's character in Urban Legend, he sucked. He sucked. Of course he did. He was like her love interest, but he was like some college. He wrote like the student paper, but he acted like he was Lois Lane. His character sucked.
He was method acting. I'm sure.
Joshua Jackson from Dawson's Creek.
Right.
And Tara Reid. She got Loretta Devine. Loretta Devine was the Dewey.
Right.
She was the campus security.
I don't know why. Oh yeah, with Joshua Jackson had the blonde hair.
Yeah. So Loretta Devine lived.
This is feeling like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Already. Yes. It is.
Well, the thing is, so Scream came out, and then they did I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was okay, but diminishing returns. And then more diminishing returns is Urban Legend, because they tried to do the exact same thing with the slasher.
Yeah.
The funny thing about it is Rebecca Gay Hart played Brenda, who ended up being the killer in Urban Legend, who was the red herring in Scream 2, the sorority sister who people thought who might have been one of the killers. So
apparently it had 2. Oh, I Know What You Did Last Summer had 2 sequels. Interesting.
Yeah.
No.
Urban Legend, I think, had a sequel.
Let's see. Moneymaker. It was a moneymaker at the time, even if it didn't compare to Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. 2 sequels followed.
Interesting. So it had a Urban Legend sequel called Final Cut. that came out in 2000. I slightly remember that. I think it took place at film school. And it took place at film school, I think. And
interesting.
The story was terrible.
Of course it was.
But then Urban Legend 3 came out in 2005 called Urban Legend Bloody Mary. And it looks like that it takes a supernatural turn.
Of course, because was Bloody Mary like in the church or something?
It looks like some demon girl crawling from under a bed. So it looks like they went supernatural. Yeah, they turned a direct-to-video supernatural slasher. Because the first Urban Legends were people.
Right.
It was humans.
Just, you can have a movie without having ghouls. Just FYI.
So we're back in the early 90s slasher craze. The sad thing about it is...
Nope, I don't want it.
They're not going to be good. And we were just talking... This next Scream movie is going to be the deciding factor whether Scream is done.
I think Scream should be done.
I think Scream should be done.
I think we should put her to bed.
The last one was
Tuck
good.
her in real nice.
Yeah.
And just relive the current movies.
At least for us. They can reboot it for the next
Give it 10 years
yeah.
at least. But 15, 20.
I'm not
Wait till some new kids are born.
I'm not sure about this one.
I am sure. No.
And do people even care about Urban Legends?
No.
Anymore? What are there current Urban Legends now? Like Urban Legends?
I mean, I'm sure. I just don't keep up with them. I'm sure there's something, but it's probably like super stupid and goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, Urban Legends are Urban Legends, but
yeah.
at least those were fun. These are probably like corny. Like that's stupid. Don't believe that.
Yeah. All right. So that is all the movie news, Buncha Crunch, and Trailer Park for this week. We're gonna take a short break and get into our review for The Accountant 2.
Yay!
Electric Boogaloo.
Some boogalooing.
Yeah.
Actually boogalooing in this. You're right. This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, and I'm about to do the intro again like we're not about to do the movie review. This week we watched The Accountant 2, which is a follow-up to the original movie The Accountant, which came out about 9 years ago. This sequel came out April 25th, which is Jay's birthday, by the way. We are celebrating the birthday this weekend as we are recording, and he's doing his duties by still recording on the weekend. Yes. April 25th, 2025. The director is Gavin O'Connor, who also directed the first Accountant movie. The writer is Bill Dubuque. Bill also wrote the original Accountant movie. He's also the creator of Ozark.
Very good writing. Yeah,
so they got the same team from the last one because the first one worked really well. The cast and characters of The Accountant 2 include Ben Affleck plays Christian Wolf / the accountant. John Bernthal plays Braxton, who is Christian's brother. We have Cynthia. How do you say her name?
I think it's Ade.
Ade?
Mm-hmm.
Ade? Okay, Cynthia Ade Robinson plays Mary Beth Bonita, who is she's the treasury. So she was a treasury agent in the first one.
But she wasn't director.
Right, but in this one, she's the director. So I don't know why all of the things are like, she's the director, or she's the agent, and then they put J.K. Simmons as the director, and I was like, no, that's obviously, he gave up his job at the end of the last one.
And you mean in the filmography for this one?
Yeah.
No, he quit at the end of the first one. Well, he was retired.
Wikipedia calls her the young treasury agent, and I'm like,
In
no.
The Accountant too?
And they call J.K. Simmons the director.
That's incorrect.
That is very incorrect. Somebody needs to go on Wikipedia.
They didn't see the first movie.
She is the director of the Treasury FinSaid, the Treasury Department FinSaid. Also in this movie, we have Daniela Pineda as Annis?
I think it's Anais. That's how they pronounce it in the movie.
Okay, Anais.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear her name that often.
Once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I only know because that's the name of like a cartoon character.
Okay.
That's the only other time I've heard that name before.
Interesting. J.K. Simmons is in this, but if you've seen the trailer, ain't that long.
Right.
It's 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. So 5 minutes. We'll give him 5 minutes. That is our cast and characters. The runtime is 2 hours and 12 minutes, which is in line with the first one, which I think was 2 hours and like 19 minutes. So same runtime. Budget of $80 million though, which I find kind of interesting because why? It seems high to me.
The budget of $80 million, it has to be.
Now, considering that Sinners was 90, well, Sinners is probably not a good, because Sinners had like sets and makeup, and it's based in a historical time, so I'll give it that. But $80 million for this,
it had to be Ben Affleck's paycheck.
It had to be.
Chunk, because, Brad Pitt movies don't look like they cost that much money to make, but he takes home a large chunk of that budget.
You mean Ben Affleck? But you
not
also
Ben Affleck, Brad Pitt.
Oh, you mean you meant Brad Pitt.
Yes, I meant Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Brad Pitt movies don't look super expensive, but like The Wolves and George Clooney, that movie was like $1 billion. It gotta be being
checked because I was like 80 million.
Mm-hmm,
this feels high for
That's
this.
high.
Because everybody else in this movie probably not commanding the same paycheck.
That's only $10 million less than Sinners.
And it takes place mostly in like 2 or 3 locations in terms of like different
small
countries
locations too, not like big sets that were built like in
like
Sinners.
You would know. They'd be like, "Oh, that's San Francisco."
No. It's not a dig. It's just a question.
It's right. It was just wondering
what was so expensive.
We're just did y'all
curious.
pay Ben 40?
Yeah,
and then the rest of the movie was the other 40.
Yeah.
Anywho, $80 million, but it's doing decently. Mm-hmm. The opening box office is $9.4 million. It's projected to do $24 million. We'll see. $24 million opening weekend domestically.
Sinners is doing really well, and so for some reason Star Wars is so
the top 3 for this box office weekend is actually going to be Sinners at number 1 with like $45 million, Star Wars at number 2 with like $25 million, and Accountant 2 is looking like it's going to be number 3 at like $24 million.
It's a little worrying if the 25th anniversary movie that everybody said they never liked in the first place is number 2 and you're movie.
Beating it. Yeah. You know something else that was interesting? So we saw Sinners in XD last weekend, opening weekend. Mm-hmm. We saw Accountant in XD because it's only shown on 2 screens, the XD screen and a regular screen. Mm-hmm. But today I was like, I wonder if I wanted to see Sinners in XD again. Could I? No, it is still the Accountant.
Yeah.
So
strange.
And Accountant is still only on 2 screens, while Sinners is on like it looks like maybe 4 or 5. I was like, why would y'all not put the most popular movie in the XD screen?
They're both over 2 hours, so it's not like usually they do that if it's like one movie is really long and they can only show it, but they're both over 2 hours.
Yeah, so they took Sinners out of XD and put Accountant in there, and I was like, that don't make no logical sense at all.
I mean, our theater was empty.
There were 10.
And somebody mentioned,
and we went on Thursday, but still,
somebody had asked me what movie I saw recently, and I told them The Accountant. They didn't even know it came out this weekend. They thought it was next weekend. So maybe it's not being advertised very well.
Yeah,
also,
I could agree with that because it's been all Sinners, Thunderbolts, Star Wars.
The Accountant one was a good movie. It wasn't like a big, huge hit. So
it was
10 years for a follow-up sequel. I don't know if the hype is still there.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. That one is coming in number 3, potentially. 2 it took an XD screen. It took a premium screen from a movie that's doing extremely well,
and nobody was going to see.
And nobody's going to go see it. So maybe Amazon was like, "Hey, yo, we need something.
Yeah,
please." Okay, so ratings wise, cinema score, Accountant 2 got A-, which is good. The first Accountant got an A, so they pretty much in line with each other. There's something a little interesting about these Rotten Tomato scores. So for this movie, critics gave it a 77, audience gave it a 93. So audience seems to be enjoying it more than critics. But the first Accountant, the critics gave it a 53 and the audience gave it a 77. And I was like, this movie is not that much better than the first one.
The first one wasn't bad, so 53 is wild.
Right. I was like, dang, a good chunk of critics did not quite enjoy the first one. So I'm actually kind of surprised. And
maybe this is an entirely different group of people who went to see this one.
Maybe.
Like, maybe this isn't the same people who showed up for the first. It's been 10 years. That's the only way I can think of the differences.
I'm kind of wondering, like, how did this get made?
Because this movie wasn't that much different from the first. It's just a different case.
It is.
Same amount. Well, a little bit of increase in action. Maybe in that third act, but kind of, the third acts are both kind of shoot 'em up.
They were literally shoot 'em up. And there's bits of actions for leading up to that.
You know what? Maybe because people know who John Bernthal is in The Punisher now.
So they're expecting that back and forth.
Yeah,
which we did get.
Because now he's an action star.
Right.
So.
Interesting. I was like, I didn't realize the first one wasn't like super beloved because 5377 is just a regular movie.
Yeah.
So who was like 9 years later was like, let's do a sequel to this regular movie.
Yeah, I don't know why they were so wowed. I mean, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But just
it's more of the first one.
So negative on the first one and so wowed by the second one.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting dichotomy. So,
I'm glad it got good reviews.
We enjoyed our time.
Yes.
That was spoiler alerts. Not really. we enjoyed our time.
If you saw The Accountant 1 and you didn't like it, and you saw The Accountant 2 and you did, tell us what's
the difference.
What switched you over? I would be very interested to see what switched you over.
Right. What got you to watch this, especially if you didn't particularly was like, it's okay.
If you were part of the 53%.
Right.
Yeah.
Let us know. All right, Jay, hit us with the plot.
Okay, so the plot of The Accountant is Christian Wolf, who is the accountant, is being hired by Vincent again for a different case.
Yeah. Technically.
And this time his brother is coming along. That is as much as I can say without spoiling the story.
Well, you can say why he's getting called.
Well,
that's in a trailer.
Spoiler.
It's not. It's in a trailer.
Okay. Well, J.K. Simmons eats it.
Yeah.
And
he writes it on his arm.
J.K. Simmons dies. Christian Wolf is the only person who's able to solve the case as to why J.K. Simmons died. And of course, it's because there's a deeper case that's involved behind that.
There we go.
Yeah.
They just give him a little more meat.
I forgot that they showed he basically died.
Yeah, we knew he wasn't.
It's funny because my first note is, I didn't know J.K. Simmons was in this. And then I saw Daniel Pineda's character. I was like, maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, he don't make it. And the trailer tell you he don't make it. They were like, we can't afford Ben and J.K. Simmons again.
Yeah, we already spent 80.
Listen, can you just be close and we can just do this real quick, pro bono?
Non-spoiler thoughts. You want to go first?
All right. So I kind of already said this movie is very much the first movie in terms of plot, in terms of these movies are not like groundbreaking.
No,
they're very much like it's a Saturday or Sunday. You want to relax and watch a good movie. You ain't gotta think too much about. There's like some little not nitpicks. There's some little Easter eggs of like foreshadowing, and there's some like trickery going on, but it's pretty straightforward and to the point. This one is the same. I will say that this one is funnier. It's got more, not silly comedy. It's got more goofy comedy. Not goofy comedy either. It's got more just sense of humor, more back and forth, because John Berthow is in this a lot more. But you know that by the trailer that Chris calls his brother to help him out. So the back and forth between Ben and John was very good. I like the little twist at the end. I didn't see that. Some people kind of like, I can see that coming. I didn't really see the twist coming.
I didn't. I think they did a good job with that.
You don't think the twist was hidden well enough?
No, I think they did a good job with that.
Oh, they did do a good job. Okay, yeah. So the twist, there is a bit of a twist. There is. I do like how they play. Ben Affleck does a good job of playing. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. He does a good job of playing somebody that's autistic.
Yeah.
Okay. He carries, as he does in the first one, he does very well in the second one too. So he keeps that. They don't play it for like laughs or any. They don't. I don't want to say they play it for laughs. They don't make fun of him. The movie does not make fun of him they didn't do it in the first one.
No.
So they're consistent with that, and I appreciated that. Adding the kids, we get more screen time from the kids that are at the center. Where what's his name? Where Chris is. What do you call it? Girl in a chair.
I called it Xavier School for Gifted.
Yeah,
youngsters.
We get more of Xavier School. We get more kids there. They're not quite X-Men, but they're kind of close.
They're close. I mean,
it could be the X-Men without superpowers. They got computer powers.
Yeah, which is almost scarier.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. There is part of that though. It gets a little too.
Maybe that's what people really liked about this one. That's the only thing I can think of.
There's a scene with the kids that almost I was like, okay, y'all asking me to suspend my belief just a little too much.
It was cute. I think it was cute. I think it went on longer than I thought it would. But now that I'm thinking about the first movie and this movie, maybe that is what people liked about it.
That it went a little
of the children.
It went a little. It was almost like a Fast and Furious scene. Out of a Fast and Furious movie. I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
This movie is typically super grounded, and we getting a little too Fast and Furious spy, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
It was like, am I in a Mission Impossible movie?
It switched very PG-13 to a movie that has a lot of headshots, surprise headshots. Like a lot of murder. Graphic violence, and then you spend a chunk of the movie with kids, and the music gets kind of whimsical, but the things they're doing is kind of scary. Right. So it's very weird.
It was an interesting a little turn. I would watch another one of these. If you look on the Wikipedia page, the director actually said he expanded this like in his mind to a trilogy.
Oh yeah.
So like the third one would be more like a buddy movie. So I would watch another one of these, and then I already said it's not super groundbreaking, but if you like the first one, I see no reason why you would not like this one. So yeah, that's my non-spoiler thoughts.
My non-spoiler thoughts are kind of pretty much the same as yours. I enjoyed the film. It is pretty much just a sequel of the first movie. Yes. It's the exact same beats, type of directing, same type of storytelling, same type of acting, different case. I think that's fun.
It's a comfort watch.
Yeah.
Would you call it a comfort watch? Yeah, maybe.
It helped that I like that they brought all the cast back.
Okay.
I think that helped with it being so long.
Okay.
And I like the fact that they knew each other already.
I guess we didn't get a bunch of new main people.
No, you didn't have a new contact that he needed to get up to speed and become more familiar with. She knew him kind of because of the last movie. He knew who she was. And by the time J.K. Simmons is killed and the case starts rolling, they're diving into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I like that.
We didn't have to do much setup.
Everybody knew each other.
Everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
You're right.
I like that. It is very buddy cop, but small, but more like Mike. His relationship with his brother is more like Mike and Marcus.
Okay.
Where they're like best friends, they get on each other's nerves. Especially one is the main antagonist.
Yes, you can guess which one.
And it's kind of like a Bad Boys movie, but it's not as like explosive and eclectic and stuff. But they're pretty much doing the exact same thing. And
they try to hit some serious tones between the relationship, which I feel like they could have did more with to make this a more serious movie. Yeah. They don't really dig into that too much because I think they're really trying to keep this movie very straight and narrow. You getting what you expect. We're not about to spice it up too much.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Bad Boys with smaller scale because they're killing as many people, but
in the same manner.
It's not as crazy and explosive as Bad Boys, but they're also doing it for the sake of solving a case. And
exactly. And they got the comedy between the two and all that.
I thought the comedy was really good. That was my next note.
Funny.
They had good chemistry. They don't get much time, and they get the third act shootout in the end. That's it in the first movie.
Yeah.
This movie, they spend time together. They are the co-stars basically. They both share co-starring roles in this movie.
I would agree. It's as much as his movie as it is as much as Ben's movie, I think, as it also is John Bernthal's movie.
Yeah, and I think that they do brotherhood. They play brothers really well.
Agree.
You can tell John Bernthal is the younger brother. His character is the younger brother.
Although in the first movie, I didn't realize it till this one. In the first movie, I thought he was the older brother. In this one, I was like, oh, no, it's more obvious that Ben is the older brother.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I want to give away for a non-spoiler.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we are going to get into our spoiler section for Accountant 2 and 3 and 2 and 1. And as always, we're going to do that by going down the character list. Now, there's only 4 main people in this. Now, there's villains, which we'll talk about those in the end, but we're going to just concentrate on the main people here.
You know what? For the villains in this, the least interesting, and it could have been anybody. It's more so the main characters and the main girl that they're looking for.
Yes. Yeah. It's more about the story than the people.
Than who did it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So let's start off with Ben Affleck, who plays Christian Wolf / the accountant. Now, question. His real name is not Christian, right? Or is
No, he's an escaped convict. We don't know what his real name is.
But Braxton calls him Christian.
Yes.
Why?
I have no idea.
Okay. When he says his name, I was like, wait a second. That's not your brother's real name. Why are you calling him that? I don't know if that's a plot hole or if that's a mistake or what. But anywho.
Well, because, we don't get Braxton's last name. It would kind of make sense if Braxton was Wolf. We don't get Braxton's last name.
So maybe Braxton's not Braxton's name either? Or are you saying we don't know what the family name is, period?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was just when they said that, I was like, when Braxton called him that, I was like, that's not your brother's real name.
So maybe that's just what they call each other, because maybe Braxton's not Braxton, because they're both criminals.
You're
so
right.
That would make sense.
Okay,
I'll call each other something.
I'll go with it. Right. Hey, dude.
Right.
So Ben Affleck plays Christian Wolf. Like I said, he does a good job of playing somebody who has autism. He carries that forward in this movie. I am more of a fan of Ben Affleck's spy thriller action roles than I am of Ben Affleck. I mean, he's only ever done. No, who else was he besides Batman?
Gone Girl.
No, I mean superhero wise. Who else was he?
Daredevil.
No.
That was a bad movie.
Don't do Daredevil. Bad movie. Don't do Batman. This your lame
Daredevil
band.
also had Colin Farrell, so hey, Daredevil did injustice to a lot of people.
Just don't do those, y'all. Y'all have Lane, and then but then Colin went to go do the Penguin.
Right,
Penguin's a villain, though.
I think Daredevil was the villain in that one, but
I am not a fan of Ben's Batman. I liked him as Bruce. I did not like him as Batman, and it makes sense that I like him as Bruce because he does this. He
was having actual life issues that made him very close to Bruce in real life at the time. So.
Oh, you're right.
So he was method acting.
I like being in these type of roles.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Exactly. So I very much enjoyed all his acting in this. It's kind of hard to like nitpick because it's very much the first movie.
Yeah.
He does the action very well. There is not a ton of action in this. He has one scene where they go to like a pizza place and he beats up some people, and then there's the very last third act where we get a bunch of fighting. But
the way the trailers were cut, I expected this to be closer to like an Equalizer movie.
Okay.
And it wasn't, because the Equalizer is like there's like an action scene in every act,
or maybe like a Man on Fire, but that's not his character.
This is very investigative.
It is more investigative than anything. But I will say, because we're gonna talk about him next, I do like his back and forth with his brother in this. That was all very good. I do like the fact that they gave Christian. They were trying to give him life outside of just being an accountant. So that was nice to see in the movie. He's trying to like date. He's trying to like relate to people, because in the first movie he said that, I don't know how to relate to people, but I want to. So I like that they gave him a little bit of character growth.
Yeah.
In this, but I mean, he's pretty much the same in the first one.
Yeah.
But you can tell in this one the character wants to be around people. So I like that they did that for him. The
character develops in this one.
Yes.
And they do a good job with that.
Agreed. But that's the gist of Christian in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo the same. He did really good in his action sequences. His third act shootout was super good. I did enjoy it. The pizza delivery plant fight was good. That was really good. I liked his line delivery was good. I liked how they like in the first one, he pretty much uses his math and mathematics and accounting skills to kind of like that. Solve cases and get people to like give him information to talk. He deduced that. I mean, I don't know numbers, so it could all be lies. But
I did not check.
He deduced that the pizza parlor owner, was embezzling or hiding about $1 million in salary because he was assisting in the sex trafficking business.
Yeah.
I liked the scene where he messed with the speed dating algorithm. I thought that was a good scene of comedy for him. He
plays the character who, like, he knows numbers and stuff like that. So all the back and forth or repeat. Like, I wonder how many times he had to shoot that to not, like you said, the numbers could be wrong.
Right.
We don't know. But the way he rattles it off, you're like, oh, he's super smart.
That's how things work.
Right. 1 + 1 =
right.
500. Sure.
I'm more like the meme of the lady with the numbers flying around her face.
Exactly. I'm like, sure, Ben. Sure, Chris. I think you're right. But he did that very well, and it's not played for. It's comedic because of how the characters he's talking to react. It's not comedic because we're making fun of him for being super smart.
Yeah, it's comedic because of how he applies that type of skill
to just regular stuff.
That type of skill to speed dating is crazy. Like, he could be like working for he can't, because he's a criminal and he's a convict and he's probably on the run. His name's not Christian, but he could be working for like world superpower. So,
exactly, and he's just like helping people do their taxes.
He's hacking speed dating sites from an Airstream.
Right, because he wants to meet people. So I thought that was nice.
I think that's all my notes I have for Ben. Let's talk about John Bernthal as Braxton.
So he gets a lot more screen time in this. Also, I'm glad that they fixed his hair. Now, I know that movie was 9 years ago.
Did he have like the?
It was like
the
too long,
slicked down. Oh, okay.
It was. He had too much. Like, the cut that he got now fits him. He looked like the Punisher.
It's the Punisher cut.
The Punisher cut suits him perfectly. That hair he had in the first, and I was like, where I got this?
Which is funny because I think in the beginning of the Daredevil, his hair's not like that.
It's too much.
It's like the Accountant 1, and then he cuts it into the Punisher cut like halfway through the season.
Oh, okay.
So he walked
John benefits from the Punisher cut.
Yeah.
Just want to say that. But he is in this much more. I think in this movie you realize more how they both got their issues going on. Like, Ben is, Christian is autistic and he's trying to live life, but he's also like an accountant who works for some horrible people, and he can also kill you by blinking at you too hard. But then you also have his brother who can also kill you by sneezing at you too hard. But he's also got his own.
He's got abandonment issues.
Yes.
And it took me a while to figure out what it was.
He doesn't like the fact that, well, in the first one, we learned the fact that he didn't like the fact that Christian and the dad went to the mom's funeral without him. Mm-hmm. He's upset the fact that he blames Christian for their dad being dead, but he still wants a relationship with his brother. And that continues in this one where he's just kind of like, yo, why you keep leaving me hanging? Like, I don't appreciate this. So his abandonment issues, he tries to have this bravado of like, I don't really care.
I don't need anybody.
And I'm happy being single and whatnot. But actually, can you call me?
He's harassing a corgi breeder.
Can you call me and tell me happy birthday or something like a little bit? So they don't play though. They don't get too deep in it. We get like 1 or 2 scenes where Braxton's trying to connect with his brother on like a deeper level, and it's real just kind of like a minute, and then we're like back to the case. But John Berthel did really good as Braxton. They paired off. The back and forth between them was very good, and it's a highlight of the movie. I think that's why this movie got rated so high, is the back and forth between Christian and Braxton.
Yeah, and they do a good job of playing brothers in a way of it's believable that because of what the both of y'all do for a living,
and the dad that raised y'all,
it makes sense that even if y'all have not seen each other in 10 years, you're on some level of good after you spent enough time around each other again.
Right. Because it's familiar, right? They did grow up together. Yeah. So all the history of how they grew up doesn't go away. They just ain't in super contact right now.
The scene they show in the trailer where Ben Affleck calls them, and they play that in the movie, and it makes sense when he's like, of course he shows up.
Right. Like he says he's not gonna do it. He hangs up and it's like
he's really been waiting on you to call for 10 years.
Literally. That man probably was booking as y'all was talking. Like, can you just book me a flight? Because yes, I'm going.
Right.
So yeah, I actually like the fact that he tries to play hard to get with his own brother, but it's like, you're gonna show up. Because he wants a relationship with his brother. So that was good. I like their back and forth was definitely a highlight of this movie.
They did John Bernthal did a really good job with the emotional moments. He almost cried like 3 times in this movie. And they were mostly around anytime Ben said something slightly nice to him. John Bernthal was ready to bust into full tears.
I mean, water.
Like literal water in the eyes.
Cutting onions. And you're like, oh God, here you go. Here you go.
I was like, this man has serious emotional issues.
Give him a hug. The man needs a hug.
There's a scene in the movie I think is one of his best scenes. His first scene. Shows up at the hotel and he's talking to himself, and we think that he's mustering enough energy to call the mother of his child. Because he's going to pick up his child. I was like, he had a
kid by somebody.
Yeah, no. It sounds like he's really trying to like muster up the strength to ask if he can like pick up his son for a weekend or something.
Yes,
but he's harassing a breeder about a corgi not being available 6 weeks into birth because they have an 8-week limit.
Right, and it's just the most crazy conversation that a normal person would not be having. And it's when you like, you crazy. Your upbringing really did you in.
He has a full circle moment at the end. The last thing I'll say, he has a conversation with his brother about getting a dog, and his brother's like, Christian's like, you're absolutely not getting a dog. You don't. And it makes sense because those are the types of questions that you ask somebody when they say they're going to get a dog. It's like, how often are you home?
Right. Never. He's like, never.
Do you have a home? He just seems like he just goes from hotel to hotel.
Right.
He brings his
and
guns.
that's why he said he likes his life because he can just get up and answer to nobody. Right. And Christian's like, and you getting a dog?
Right. That's not for a dog. Christian's like, you're a cat person. And we get a full circle moment at the end when he gets a stray cat.
Right.
And I like that.
That was nice because we think he's stopping we'll get to that part, but they're on the bus. And we think he's asking to stop the bus to get like a person or something.
Yeah, a child they left behind.
Right. But it's a cat.
It's a cat.
It's the cat we saw earlier. Yeah. Like, of course it's the cat we saw earlier. It's the cat
that was also at the compound.
Right.
The end. So.
He needs it. And the cat's probably like, oh, could I pick somebody else?
I'm happy he got his cat.
He needed a cat. He
needed something.
Fit? No. Right. Cat.
He needed something to spend time with when he wasn't spending time with
cat
his
is
brother. Independent
enough to be like, just feed me. And I'll just be here for you to just be okay. That's a cat.
Cynthia Ade Robinson returns as Mary Beth Medina. She has a much bigger role in this one.
Yes.
J.K. Simmons is not around. She is the director, and she's his main point of contact.
She's goodness. I thought one of my notes is that I thought we would get the trio more. We don't get the trio very much in this movie.
They pretty much have to get her out of the way a lot so they can do the criminal stuff.
She's very goody two-shoe in this.
I liked it. I liked the
No.
fact that she wanted to do it differently.
Yes.
They weren't all going to do the same exact thing.
Right. And she does the typical, like, I tried to do it my way, but it didn't work. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you expect that from this type of movie. It wasn't like groundbreaking where she's like, she go and chop somebody's head off. It's like, okay, we ain't go that far.
Right.
But she does realize, like, okay, like everything ain't got to be all cookie cutter.
I liked it because it made her different. She just wasn't. It didn't make her just the J.K. Simmons of the movie. J.K. Simmons was down for doing Ben Affleck doing whatever he wanted to do.
She did.
And she was not. She
like,
wasn't in the first movie.
She's like, I want to sleep at night.
Right.
Have a good conscience when I go to bed.
I don't want to go the way my boss did. So,
Exactly.
I like the fact
Who's now dead.
Right. So she was different. So I like that. I think she did a really good job in the action sequences.
Yes.
She has one action sequence with Danielle Pineda that they show in the trailer. I think she did a really good job with that. I would like to see her in more action stuff. I would like to see her in more stuff anyway.
Period.
Yes. But yeah, I would like to see her in more like action stuff.
Yeah, her character is very much like her previous character. She's still very smart. She's still got a good head on her shoulders. She still wants to do the right thing, but she does learn that kind of like, you know, sometimes you got to push the limits. You kind of see that in the trailer. Sometimes you got to put the limits to get what you actually need. So, and I like that it's not we ain't spoilers. She don't die, thankfully.
Right, yeah.
We thought she gonna die.
I was like, y'all can't kill both of them.
Kill the black woman. But she don't die, y'all. She stays alive. So I was very excited about that.
She had a side plot in the movie that I liked about her wanting to get a different office chair.
Oh, yes.
They picked up. I wonder if what's the time gap in the movie? Is it actually the same? Because it seems like she would already have a chair by now.
Well, she has. Remember, we opened the movie. She has a chair, and it looks like she's trying to find a new chair. Because when we open the movie and we get to her, she has like 2 random chairs in her office.
Okay.
And she's like sitting in it, and she's trying to like, you know, swooshing around to see if, you know, bouncing up and down. And then she gets the phone call. So I think she probably had J.K. Simmons' chair, and now she wants her own chair.
They didn't specify anywhere in the movie how long it had been.
I'm trying to see.
And I'm looking at it. They don't put it at all. And that's fine. They probably do that.
The plot is like 1 paragraph.
Yeah. They probably do that so they don't have to focus. They don't have to commit too much to like a time period.
Oh, you know what? I think it's been 8 years.
It's been 8 years.
Because Braxton is mad at Christian because, remember, he left. You know what? I think it's been as long as the movie. As long as the first movie. So, yes, the time gap is from when we left them the first movie. So it's been 9 years, 8-9 years.
She has a fun side plot where she's trying to get a new office chair.
Oh, you're right. She probably would have a chair by then.
Yeah, it was like she would have a chair by then.
I ain't thinking about that.
No, but
okay.
maybe she's looking for a newer chair.
Yes.
Maybe
she want to upgrade.
Her 5th chair.
Right.
But I liked her little side plot when she's looking for a chair. At the end, she ends up getting the villain's chair because it's comfortable. I get it. I get the irony of like the villain having the most comfortable chair in the world, but just get the same brand chair. Don't get that.
He's a very bad villain, right? It's not like he was just, you know, he's not like a.
Don't take the sex trafficker chair.
He's like a superhero villain where they're actually trying to like solve world hunger or something.
Right.
This man was terrible.
He was awful.
Terrible.
I like the fact that she got her chair in the end.
She did.
And I wish it was just a different chair.
She went to Costco and was like, let me get that chair.
Next we have on the list and last is Daniela Pineda, who plays Anais. And I guess
she's in the trailer, she's set up as the villain, like the killer that's trying to take them out. In actuality, she is not a villain. She is
kind of the person they're looking for.
She is, and she almost feels like a side character, to be honest.
Yeah.
In some parts of the movie, we go back to her, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is about you.
She's got a plot. So basically, the point of this movie, the first movie was a murder.
Yes.
There was a murder and embezzlement. That was the first movie.
It started out with embezzlement, and then embezzlement led to murders.
This one is a missing persons
case.
So it turns out, I mean, spoiler alert, she's the missing person.
It's kind of both because J.K. Simmons the murder and she's the missing. So her family's the missing.
So this one starts off with murder, and then we get into what the case is about.
Right.
So she is a
assassin
who is on the spectrum, just like Ben Affleck.
I thought her son was the one on the spectrum, not her.
I think they both are.
Sure.
She is a savant in an entirely different way. Where her son is a savant. So basically the the missing persons case is Danielle Pineda and her husband and her son are refugees that were coming to America en route. They got split up.
Yes.
And along the way, they eventually made it to America, but eventually the whole entire family went missing. J.K. Simmons was keeping an eye on them.
Because he's trying to do good with what he's got left.
And he's hired Danielle Pineda to find them.
Yes.
Yes. Turns out she's the missing person because she ends up getting in a car accident earlier in the film. They kind of do the Vanilla Sky thing where they have a completely different actor, a completely different look.
Right.
So they have a completely different actor in the beginning of the movie who gets in a car accident, loses all her memory, gets facial reconstructive surgery,
right,
and turns into Danielle Pineda, who is an assassin because her injuries made her like a savant that's addicted to combat.
Yes. So she like trains basically in a hospital as a fighter, and then she busts out of there.
She escapes.
She's like, I got what I needed. Goodbye.
Yeah. I like the scene where the doctor is I like the reveal. I like the
reveal was good.
So the way the reveal happens, Medina, playing by the books, goes to the hospital where because
we learn the backstory of a woman got in a car accident, got sent to the hospital, but she had like some facial reconstruction surgery.
I think her real name was Edith.
Yes.
So he goes to the hospital. She goes to the hospital to get file information on Edith, where she finds out Edith and Anna used to the same person because the doctor has lots of recordings of their sessions with her.
Right.
Getting her into recovery. I liked that. I liked the review. I mean, I saw it halfway into it coming.
Once we get to a certain angle, so we're watching the recordings and she's in this horrible accident. Her face is all bandaged up, so we can't see what she looked like. And then a doctor says something along the lines of, he either says facial reconstruction or he is a trigger word. And I was like, wait a second.
He said facial reconstruction.
And
surgery.
we don't see her face. Like through all the recordings, her face is all bandaged up, or they shoot her from the back.
Because it starts with her face.
It does. We actually, they replay her car accident, or when she's actually trying to run away from somebody. It's how she gets to a car accident. So we see her then, but then when she's in the hospital, we don't see her. She's all bandaged up. I was like, that's the same person.
I knew it. And then they do the whole, she turns around and they freeze the camera.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that is her.
I thought that I'm surprised people didn't like the twist. I thought they did that well. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
They didn't give us enough information about the missing person to make it seem like obvious.
That was her. I agree.
And they didn't, I don't think that they left out enough information to where that wasn't believable.
Well, because her family, what happens with her family is the dad gets killed by the traffickers. The son gets taken to a camp for kids where they keep to train to go off and be labor workers for being underpaid.
No, they're the sex workers' kids.
Oh, right. So they take the sex worker kids and just leave them in a prison, essentially, outdoor prison. And then the wives either go be sex slaves or they chart them out as like maids or whatever. Because she was actually a maid.
Yeah.
Or house cleaners or whatever. Basically exploiting people.
So that now it makes sense in the scene in the movie when the brothers go to the sex workers for information.
Yes.
They hire the sex workers to get information out of their operations.
Right.
And the one sex worker who helps them tells them she doesn't have kids. I think that was her saying she could leave.
Oh.
And the rest, that's why the other girls didn't want to talk. Because they were saying it's very dangerous. I don't speak Spanish, and they didn't do any subtitles in the movie.
So that was a little confusing.
But I picked up some words, and they were afraid of telling them, and I couldn't figure out why, other than the fact that they would be killed.
Right.
They didn't want their kids killed, I think.
Yeah, so the brothers set up, called 3 of the girls because they're just trying to get information. And then 2 of the girls are like, no, we can't do this. But the 3rd girl was like, I don't have kids. I will tell you whatever you need to know, but I am risking my life. So y'all need to kill that man.
I guess we can just talk about the villain briefly. So the point of the movie is Danielle Pineda is just a random assassin.
She is. She seems to also work for the same boss that Braxton works for.
Yeah, so she has the same handler as Braxton. Also, it seems like she's done work for J.K. Simmons before because they know each other.
Yes. Yeah. You're correct. You're correct.
So she's just a regular assassin. The villain of the movie is the guy who runs the sex ring.
Yes.
And the big point of contingency in the movie, I guess, is Ben Affleck and John Bernthal are trying to find her and stop her. but she does not know who she is.
Well, they're trying to find King's killer, and they think it is her.
Yeah, so they think it's her. They're trying to find her and stop her.
Right.
But at the same time, not really realizing that she is the same missing person
that he was looking
for. She does not know that
she
either.
Don't know. She her own
The only person who knows who she is the villain.
Right.
And the villain knows her because he tattooed her and you can recognize her.
Exactly.
And the big point of the movie is that the villain's trying to get her killed.
Exactly.
Before she remembers who he is and comes and kills him.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there's also a small subplot of the villain wants also Medina killed because she hot on the trail. And
basically it seems like they also kill anybody who finds out who Anais is.
Yes.
Gets too close.
Because they don't want the connection made, because the villain's kind of like, if they find out I'm a sex trafficker, my business goes up. Like, so exactly.
That's why King died. King died because he found out who she was.
Exactly.
And Mary Beth Medina was going to be killed because she found out who she was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I thought she did a good job. She doesn't have that very many speaking lines.
She does not.
She's just like a quiet assassin.
I mean, she does assassin well.
Yeah.
So I give her that.
She gets her revenge in the end, which I liked.
I agree.
In the end, instead of her I liked that she didn't kill anybody that we cared about.
No,
because I would have been upset if she killed. I would have been upset if she killed Mary Beth.
She does get in a fight with Mary Beth.
I feel bad for her, but now she has to die.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm glad that they made the decision to not let her kill Mary Beth.
Right.
Because I felt good about the fact that she gets her revenge in the end.
Right. Now she goes
to kill the villain.
Right. She don't get her memories back. Like she does get her memories back through a photo that shows her old family, but she does not go try to get her son back because she knows that she is too far gone.
Yeah.
In the life that she now has. So yeah.
I like the fact that they did that. That makes more sense than her trying to go be a mother.
Yeah,
because
that wouldn't have worked.
Natasha couldn't be a mother,
and the son probably would not recognize his mother at that point. No way.
No, yeah, absolutely not. They both needed to live separate lives.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
Okay, so that is our breakdown of the characters. Let's get into our likes and dislikes. You want to go first?
I already mentioned that the third act was very good. So the third act is similar to the first movie, is our shootout fighting. This time we have our brothers fighting sex traffickers who have been ordered to kill all the kids. Put them in a pit. So the villain realizes there ain't anything working out. So his last resort is to kill all of the kids and put them in a pit, like they do when they kill all the migrant or all the
parents,
people, all the people who are trying to migrate over.
Mm-hmm.
It's very terrible because we keep going back to the pit that they dig in. You were like, I'm tired of seeing this pit.
They kept going back to the pit, and I was like, this feels gross.
We got it. We got the kids.
See y'all digging the kitty grave.
We got that y'all trying to put this kid in the pit.
Jesus.
But it's like that editing where they're trying to like see what's happening. Are they gonna make it? Are they gonna do it?
Like,
are the kids going in the pit?
Don't play suspense with that. That's gross.
Yeah. Horrible. So, but the action scene of the shootout that they have with the brothers and the horrible people is very good. It's very loud. It's very tactical.
You said it was very Call of Duty.
It is literally 10 minutes of Call of Duty. Like if you've never seen Call of Duty, you look it up. This movie.
If you know Call of Duty, I guess also
it's a first-person shooter game.
Yeah. It was almost like a war movie. That last act.
A little bit.
Like Black Hawk Down.
A little bit. What did you say? You said it was like Civil War.
It was like Civil War, the end of Civil War, yeah.
It was very much like that. So, but I enjoyed it. So that was good. I also, this is not like or dislike, I would have liked more of the trio. Of the three of them together. Once they break off, once she's had enough of their shenanigans, she actually leaves and does her own thing.
They put a man in the trunk, and that was the last straw.
A live man that they was gonna like torture. And she's done. She don't want to do no more of it. And they actually don't get back together, the three of them.
No, after he saves her from being killed, she's out of the movie until the end. Yeah, she has to recover.
Pretty much, she is not in the final scene as the shootout. She can't because she's getting her like her lungs punctured and her jaw broke by our assassin lady. Mm-hmm. I think only thing the girl didn't get too many action scenes. So for her to be an assassin, I don't think we get much of her fighting outside of beating up Medina.
That's a dislike.
Yeah,
they cut a lot of action. They cut a lot of John Bernthal's action. We don't get any action until that third act. We get one action sequence with Ben Affleck
in the pizza shop.
We get one action sequence with Anais and Mary Beth.
Yep.
And then the third act. John Bernthal is built up to be equally capable and deadly as his brother, maybe even more so. But we completely skip the apartment. We completely skip the action sequence where he kills everybody in the penthouse.
Yeah.
We just get the end of that. We completely skip the action sequences in the bar.
No, actually, we'll get to that one. Yeah.
They do a Dukes of Hazzard freeze frame that I hated.
It was weird placement.
Yeah, it was bad. It didn't fit
for this movie. It was like, okay, too goofy. Let's go back.
I would have wished that we got to more, because they do a lot of talking, and we see small scenes of them being very capable in killing people. But I mean, show us.
And it was like, y'all got the budget.
Yeah.
So that was weird. That was weird. But that's all my likes and nitpicks.
I like the chemistry between the brothers. I thought they're too old to be arguing the way that they are.
Not to me.
Specifically in the scene where Braxton is mocking him while they're waiting for the sex workers to show up.
I thought that
He's mocking the way they talk. Y'all are way too old.
But
and killers.
He is the way they were raised. He is immature, and that's just how they act. It was good though.
He throws a sunscreen across the parking lot when they're sitting on top of the Airstream. I like the brothers. Yes, I think they did a very.
I'm
good
telling
job.
You, that's what sold this movie. Literally, that's why the Rotten Tomatoes score for the audience is so high.
I wonder if it's crazy that they didn't key into this in the first movie in 2016.
Maybe this is, well, remember he said he wanted this to be a trilogy. Yeah. So I bet you he's going to turn it up for the third one.
And I like that it runs like a story. And I think that's also how it helps having, they got everybody back, except for Anna Kendrick, but it's a different case, so we don't really need her.
Right. So the director said with production slated to be completed on the second installment, the filmmaker categorized the third movie as a buddy film, calling it Rain Man on steroids.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that he's going to rank it up for the third one.
And my last like and dislike I'll put on the halfway line between likes and dislikes. The kids. I thought the kids were cool. I thought the sequence with the hacker kids was fun. And I liked the way that they used their abilities to like help him out, because he needed the type of work he was doing. And when you're looking for a missing person, you need guys in the chair, and he had like super kids in chairs.
Yeah, Xavier's a gifted kid.
It did get a little Watch Dogs for me.
Very Watch Dogs. So they're trying to hack into somebody's phone to get a picture, because this chick took a selfie and our assassin ladies in the background. So they're trying to get a facial recognition. So they got to hack into a lady's phone. And it goes real like Watch Dogs, Mission Impossible, Fast and the Furious type tech. And I was just like, all right, I mean, let's dial it back. We still want to be grounded here. But yeah, it got a little. And
during the scene when they're doing all this, they're hacking into her laptop. They got her camera, they're controlling her TV and stuff. Yeah. And Mary Beth is like having a conniption because it's like,
she don't like it.
Extremely illegal. And I was just kind of like, I kind of assume this stuff happens all the time anyway.
And it's funny because she's telling Christian to tell the kids to stop, like turn it off. And he's just sitting there like, no. He literally says nothing.
No.
He's like, and they just working.
They weren't listening to her anyway.
Nobody was listening to her.
Yeah. So
literally nobody.
But I put it on the like and dislike because it did go. I liked how they used it, and I liked them being a factor in the movie. Yeah. I do think the powers are a little too super for realism.
It was just like
you got a little too sci-fi.
Like no matter how fast you type them keys, you can't do this.
It was kind of like the technology Charlize Theron was using in Fast and Furious when she was like hacking in all the cars and making them all drive down.
All right, I was kind of like, this is getting real.
This is Brother Eye.
Unbelievable.
Let's give it Ultron.
I do like the fact when we see the kids again and they track down the bus of the kids that they're about to take to the pit. I can't think of what the character's name is. Justine, who from the first movie we learned is the voice that talks to Ben Affleck, who is the little girl he meets as a little boy at the home at the very beginning.
So it has been 10 years.
You're right, because she's much older now.
That's it.
She turns the cameras off because she don't know. She's hoping that they're gonna stop it, but she don't know. So she
kids didn't need to see that.
Yeah, she turns off all the cameras so the kids don't actually see what the shootout or anything like that, because she turns it off and she's just kind of like, I hope they turn it around.
I do like the son gets to go to the academy, and I do like that the kids made a room and banner for him.
Yes.
That was my last I do like that the boy got to go.
Well, let's get into the ending.
Oh, well,
So the end of the movie is, and we kind of already talked about it. So Annalise gets her revenge on the Russians. Is he Russian? He's not Russian. I don't matter.
Yeah.
He's a villain. He's bad. On the sex trafficker. So she finds him. She kills him. They stop the bus with the kids in the pit. So they kill all of the goons. And then they find the son of our assassin. And they don't reconnect. Like we said, she don't go back and try to be a mom.
She can't do that.
They put him, because he's also autistic. So he goes to the home that the kids are at, where Ben Affleck's character originally probably should have been. At the very beginning of the first movie, where the kids is running basically the command center, and he gets to go live a normal life as a boy. And as Jay just said, the kids that are there like decorate his room and stuff and welcome him home. So that was nice. It's a happy ending.
Yeah, and the brothers are going on another adventure. We kind of leave it up open-ended. They're going to stick together this time.
Yes, they are together this time.
Christian's making an effort because I like they touched back on that. Medina tells him earlier that you should tell your brother that you appreciate him coming because sometimes he's not good at emotional stuff. And she was like, sometimes people just like to hear it. And he says it twice.
He does.
So I like that came back to him.
Yes. He Braxton finally getting some hugs. Yeah. Some
and
attention.
A cat.
And he gets his cat.
And he was ready to go to war with the boy because he was holding the cat.
As they are taking the boy to the home, the boy is holding on to the cat. He's a child. The kid's like 12, 13.
And he's not taking it with him.
And he's not keeping the cat. And Braxton is kind of like, can you tell the boy to give me my cat back? And he's like freaking out. And it's like, relax. The cat has not abandoned you. He's just in the back seat.
Right.
So yeah, it's basically a happy ending, much like the first one.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite line or scene?
I am going to give it to the Chris line dancing scene.
Yep.
So they go to a bar. Braxton suggests they go out, have some fun, go get drunk, as he says. Although I don't know if Christian can actually get drunk because he just seemed like the type to have need too much control to let loose like that. But anywho, he has a back and forth with the woman there. He's kind of flirting a little bit. Braxton's like acting crazy because he sees his brother flirting with somebody. But because Chris gets up and he starts line dancing because line dancing is very like, what do you want to call it? He likes
patterns and numbers.
It's very much a pattern. So he picks up the pattern. He starts line dancing. It's a very funny scene because Ben Affleck does a very good job of playing somebody who ain't never danced before. This is actually, I think Ben Affleck probably dances in real life. But anywho, he's doing like basically a country line dance. And he's like dipping and grabbing on his belt and all that jazz. And I like the scene up until somebody comes in and they don't like the fact that they're interacting with the girl because the girl, she's not dating nobody. Anyway, it gets into that typical like leave my woman alone type of scene. And the woman's like, I ain't with you. But anyway, a fight breaks out. And that's where we get the Dukes of Hazzard freeze frame before they leave the bar. But the scene of Ben's character actually dancing was really funny.
They even fly out of parking lot like the Dukes of Hazzard. Now that I think about it, I don't know what that choice was about.
That scene was filmed that way, but the whole part of him line dancing, I thought was really enjoyable.
I would have loved to see both of them fight together. Yeah,
because we know how they fight. Right. And when they do fight, it looks like it's like really good action scene. But for some reason, they did not film that. I will do a backup favorite scene of when we first get to Braxton. He's talking to this chick and he's eating ice cream. And he's obviously, the chick is there because he's done something and he's maybe trying to question her. That's when Christian calls. We get the back and forth between him and Christian when Braxton's obviously going to go meet Christian wherever he is. But as Braxton's walking out of the apartment, we start to see all the dead bodies. And it's like 1 in the kitchen, and then it's like 2 in the hallway, and then it's like 4 in the foyer, and it's like 2 at the elevator. So he's killed like 8 people. But we only see them as he's walking to the elevator all casually like, let me go see what this dude's talking about. I like the way that scene was shot as well. I'm
going to backtrack to a like that I forgot to mention earlier. And I liked the conversation between Medina on the phone and the receptionist at the school.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Because Medina was basically, it's like it's a Charlie situation.
It
is. From Charlie's Angels, where you don't know who he is, where he looks like. You just have a number to call. So she kept calling it, and it was going to a receptionist
who doesn't seem to know anything about anything.
In the know about the front.
No.
So
she don't know about Xavier's school in the basement.
But she knows that Justine is patched into the line, always listening.
She knows she can hear her.
So while Medina is like talking to Justine on the phone, the receptionist is kind of just like on the phone as well. Like, I don't think you're talking to who you think you are.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Right.
Hang it.
We
don't have burgers.
I love the fact that they kept it consistent. The receptionist at the end, when she calls her again, the receptionist like, ma'am, I don't think you're calling who you think you are.
The receptionist is like, and I like that the receptionist didn't break and like, man, we know. She was like, girl.
She said, you know what?
I
work the night desk. You should call back in the morning.
Yeah. I ain't got the answers to your questions. Go away.
Any random notes?
Did you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene was the line dancing.
Okay.
And my second close was the third act shootout when they went to go save the kids.
Yeah, the third act was very good.
I thought it was crazy that the two of them took out everybody like that.
I mean, but that all the more reason why they should have showed the bar scene because we know them together.
Yeah, absolutely.
They take everybody out, so that would have been good to see.
We've seen Christian take on those 3 big dudes by himself at the pizza place. So it was the 2 of them versus 3 other people.
We know they can fight.
Yeah.
We can know they can fight. So yeah. You said random notes?
Yeah.
only random note I had, what happened to King's family? Because in the first movie, when King first meets Christian, and Christian asks him, "Are you a good father?" And he has that whole scene talking about like, I might not have been this, I might not have been that, but I've always been a good dad. Like, that was my thing. And that's why Christian lets him live. And at the beginning of this movie, he's like broke, almost broke, alone.
Do you have a wife?
Dies by himself. I don't know about the wife. And his emergency contact is Medina. And I was like, well, what happened to his kids?
Yeah, they drop a line, the landlords drop a line that Medina drops a line that he was broke. He spent all his money.
Nearly broke. So I was just kind of like,
maybe he spent all his money helping the migrants.
Probably.
They didn't really, It
wasn't more about him broke. It was just more about, like, nobody else knew.
He was a completely different place in this movie than he was.
Yeah, so I just thought that was weird. That was my only random question thought.
I expected the house to be a front where he just does his investigations, but I didn't. I thought he was just using this house because he's rich. He ended the first movie rich. He was a CEO. And he was retiring. So he
obviously had a pension.
So I was like, yeah, he bought this 1-bedroom house in California that's run down looking so he could do his criminal stuff when nobody's looking. I didn't know that'd be his home.
I don't know. 1 second. Something opened up. 1.6 miles. It's only 1 room, 2 beds. Let me see something real quick.
If you're still listening to us, Shirley's trying to book us a hotel for Comic-Con. We missed Hotel Apocalypse.
Thursday, Friday is missing. Hold on, can I get a single bed? On a single bed, Friday's missing.
I'm keeping this in the pocket.
I cannot. Oh my God, I cannot get 2 rooms with 5 to Wednesday to Sunday. I can't do it. Forget it. It's fine. I can't even. I'm done. We're finished. Go ahead.
Let us know if you're also struggling with finding somewhere to sleep at night.
We got rooms all the way in Mission Valley, and I don't want to be 5 miles away. I would like to be within like a mile or 2. It's not happening, but we got time.
Yeah.
Where do we leave off?
Where did we leave off? Did you have any other random notes?
No, that was it.
Our mom thought Medina's shoes was ugly. I don't know.
I thought the assassin shoes. I was like, girl, them shoes is
everybody's shoes.
Don't you got money?
You also didn't like Christian shoes, so nobody had good shoes.
Shoes was nasty.
I like this. I thought the scene was hilarious when they were trying to pay off the prostitute for information. Christian kept giving her small increments of money, and then officially
Braxton was like, "Would you stop being stingy?
Give her that wad of cash in your pocket.
He's
what else are you gonna do with
huge it? Wad of cash? Like you literally have."
I like the fact she knew it.
Right. I like the fact that Braxton knew it. Braxton was like,
she kept asking.
Quit playing. She was like, "My life is on the line. Come up off the cash." Sorry.
It wasn't my favorite scene, but the speed dating scene was funny.
It was funny.
The speed dating women were scary, but.
Quickly got unscared when they realized he was a weirdo.
Rigged the system. So they all probably thought he was like the perfect match. So that's kind of not their fault, I guess.
Right. There's a line for him, and the people coordinating the speed dating are like, why is nobody going to anybody else but you? And he's like, oh, I optimized my profile. Sir, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
And they quickly realized that he obviously hasn't conditioned because the dates ain't going well. They're not going well.
The last note I'll put is a funny one, and that was the bus that they put the kids on must have been driving down a winding road because they got the kids on the bus and they left, and then we got a 5-minute shootout with Ben Affleck and John Bernthal, and the bus is still within sharpshooting range because he can still see the compound. And I was like, the bus has been driving for 5 minutes.
Because the guy, our main goon, is able to shoot John Bernthal. And I thought they were actually going to kill him off. I was like, oh, please don't kill the bird off. They finally in a good place. Don't kill him off. But he shoots him. And I was like, wait a second. They've been driving for 5 minutes.
Yeah. They left a long time ago.
Copy pasta bullets.
And they keep doing, and it was weird because they're switching between 3 scenes. They're switching between the shooting, the bus driving, and digging a pit. So you're thinking that the bus is getting close to the pit. You think the bus is getting close to the pit, but it's not because they've been fighting forever, and the bus is still not far away enough.
They're driving in an S shape.
Yeah, so I was like, maybe it's a winding path to get there. You can't just drive straight out.
I think they're just editing. They wanted us to semi-believe.
It seemed a little weird
that our heroes was going to be able to catch up to the bus, which they do. But it was kind of like, how can you shoot from 5 minutes away?
In the span of time that the bus left, and they begin the shootout, they end the shootout, they hop in a truck and make it all the way out to the pit. The kids they are just getting the kids in the pit.
Yeah.
So the time was just a little.
They make it in time because they have plenty of time to get there. And you're like, y'all could have walked. Y'all didn't even put these kids on the bus. Y'all could have just walked in.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, we're ready for our rating?
Yes. I will go first. I would give this. I give it 4 Nicole Kidmans. It's enjoyable. I would watch it again. If I'm gonna watch another one of these, I feel like that automatically is just like a 4. But if I'm telling you, I would watch another one of these. I obviously quite enjoyed it. Do you need to go to the cinema to see it? I think it's worth it for the sound and the action scenes, or the action and the half scenes that we get. You don't need to see it in a premium screen like we did, and we only saw it in a premium screen because it had the better times. Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to go at 6:45.
I was surprised. I was like, we're seeing this in XD.
I don't want to see this at 9. I don't want to see this at 6:45. I need a 7 o'clock window, and that was only in XD. So no, you don't need a premium screen, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the watch. It didn't feel like it was super long. Like, it's 2 hours, but it don't feel like it drags. No, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with a 4.
I'll get a 4.5 Nicole Kidmans. Okay. The only big negative I have, which isn't a big negative, but I wish it had more action. Yes. But I was satisfied with the story. I think they pulled the twist off very well. Okay. I liked the fact that the killer was the person that they were looking for. I liked that they did the body switcheroo. Yeah, with the actresses. Yeah, because I was like, how are they gonna pull this off?
Well, I was just like, not look the same. I was like, where are we getting a connection? Well, this don't seem to be making no sense. Oh, and it's her. And in a few moments,
we only get like a shot of her face in the picture, and in very quick flashbacks. Yeah. So I was looking at her face, was like, is that Danielle Pineda in makeup? But no, it wasn't. It was a completely different actress. So they did a good job with that.
It's like when they say she got her face redone, I mean, she don't look like that. Yeah. So
that's my only negative, is that I wish it just had more action. But other than that, I would also see another movie of this. I think it's set up to do a good third movie.
I agree.
With both brothers.
Just let them both. I would also request to keep these movies small. Not small, but these are good, like, Saturday afternoon comfort movies.
They don't need to be Mission Impossible level.
They don't need to be Mission Impossible, and they also don't need to kill everybody. Like, let's kill the whole cast. Yeah. I like these movies because, like, no, it's not low stakes, but it's enough action, and I like the characters enough where if y'all killed the brother, I would be like, I hate this movie.
Maybe the third movie.
I don't want any of the brothers to die.
Maybe the third movie can be about somebody, because they've worked in the business for so long, somebody who's found out their real identities.
Yeah, that would make most sense.
Because that's kind of the still gray area about the period between their separation, Chris going to prison and escaping. Right. And I'm sure there are stories in between.
I mean, the brothers are not in a good line of work.
And we don't have any backstory about what Braxton's been doing.
And they don't work for good people.
Yeah. And they're criminals. They are criminals. They're killers. They're extra, what do they call them? Extrajudicial killers.
Like, Braxton actually got the text to kill Medina from the boss, but he was asleep.
Some of the people on the pin board were killed by Braxton and not by Anais.
Right. And he was like, oh, that ain't me. That ain't me. He was like, that ain't me. That's her. That's her. That's her.
I did like 2 of these.
They work for the same, right? They work for the same organization. And when he missed the text to kill her, that's when Christian goes to Medina's house. And what happened was Anais got the text. And they were like, oh, they told Braxton, oh, never mind, we got somebody else because you were asleep.
Well, it was the fact that Braxton didn't even tell him. He got the text earlier. He didn't answer. And then when Christian found out, the second text was that disregard because they assigned it to somebody else.
Well, probably because he wasn't going to do it.
But, I mean, tell Christian.
Yeah, he should have known that the boss was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll find somebody else if you're busy.
Yeah, he should have been like, hey, she's on the list now. The girl that we're looking for might come for her. Maybe we should set a trap. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just leaving her out there kind of felt weird.
You're right. I didn't think about that.
At least.
Exactly. No, none of our significant people died. Yeah. Except J.K. Simmons, but we knew that was coming.
All right, so that is our review of The Accountant 2. Go watch it. We think you'll enjoy it. It's a good action film. If you haven't seen if you have seen the first one and are still waiting out to see the second one, tell us what's holding out.
And if you haven't seen the first one, do watch this one. Do watch the first one before this one. It adds context.
And if you were negative on the first one and you liked this one, let us know what the differences were that you spotted. Because I didn't think they were too different.
They're literally the same. It's literally the same movie. Yeah. Equally as enjoyable, I would say, for sure.
All right. So that is our review of The Accountant. What are we watching next week?
It is a Marvel movie time. Again, this is like my favorite seasons of the year. The Thunderbolts, which is getting... Now, we always got to take social media reactions with a grain of salt because they always be positive. But these are positive. And they're saying it's a very like emotional movie. So I'm curious what that means. We'll see. Sense. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to buy me a popcorn bucket. I don't know. I'm trying.
What do they look like?
They're the tin ones, and they got pictures of everybody. It's not very fancy. I don't like the buckets that are like things. I like buckets that are buckets.
Oh, you don't like the buckets that are like whimsical and have. I
like your Captain America bucket
because it's just a bucket. The cup is optional.
Boom.
Yeah, the backpack.
Exactly. I like regular buckets, so we'll see. I don't know, but I am excited. I mean, anytime a Marvel movie comes out, I'm like, yay, because I feel like I'm going to have a good time. So
very excited about Thunderbolts. Says it has 2 post-credit scenes.
And one of them is supposedly like huge. So hopefully we make it to Friday and it is not spoiled. I already bought our tickets. Yeah. We seen it in XD.
Still
hopefully it don't get spoiled.
Still wondering what Jodie Turner-Smith behind was doing there.
Jodie Turner-Smith was at the Thunderbolts premiere and everybody like, girl,
what are you doing here, Jodie?
What you doing here?
Are you Storm?
I feel like it's a filler. There's the only reason.
Tell us now.
Only reason. Somebody else was there and they were like, "Oh, is she?" Dang it, I can't think of who it is.
Because what's her name? Zoshi wasn't there from Doctor Strange. She be at all the premieres.
Oh yeah.
Miss America, she wasn't. So
she do be all the premieres. There was somebody else there, and I'm not gonna even bother to find out who it was that they thought was maybe they were shopping as another X-Men.
So people who are casted and may not be in the movie, they have them go to the premieres all the time. So
because they try to put out fillers of people's social media reactions. I ain't stupid.
What are you doing, stupid, Jodie? Kevin? Are you Storm? Let us know.
The casting director probably like, just go. We'll see how it is, and then we'll call you back.
I want to know.
I will call.
X-Men in this.
The Marvel casting director is very good at her job, so it would not be past me that they just have people go to things, see what people's reactions are, and then be like, "We'll call you if we need you."
So we will be back next week for our Thunderbolts review. I'm very excited about it.
All right. So thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it. If you want to leave us a review, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on our website, vaguelynerdypodcast.com. We can also leave us a voicemail that we will play on the show if it's nice. If it's not, I will find you on LinkedIn and tell your boss that you are rude. Anywho, you can also follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast. We're also on Blue Sky and the Bird app at Vaguely Nerdy Pod. And you can email us for any ideas, thoughts, questions, opinions, and general niceness at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening on a podcast app, you can watch our YouTube animated show where we have fancy little emojis on YouTube where we are Vaguely Nerdy Podcast. And then if you want to leave us a monetary donation, I had trouble with that. I'm smart, y'all, I promise. We are also on Ko-fi. So we are at ko-fi.com/Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
Until next time.
Bye.